Now, how many different types of units do you guys have at Eng3?
We have 3 different models of it. So it's all NanoVi. It's the only thing we do. Mm-hmm. And people will ask, do you have other different products you're going to do? And we're like, are you kidding?
Everyone says, it's so popular now to always be coming out with new things. But I've always admired just having one great thing, and just working on that.
I mean, we need it to be, everybody should be using this, right? So we've got so far to go with just this one technology. And I love it in centers like yours where people have access to it. I'd love to have more kind of public access to it. And so it's because it's inexpensive over time, I would say. But the initial investment for our device ranges from a little above $5,000 to almost $14,000, depending on the model. So it's not inexpensive to purchase. However, once you own it, 20 people a day can use the same device, and it will last for far past our lifetimes. Probably it's
great. I mean, we use it throughout the day on patients. I'll sit down at the end of the day and sit there for 30 minutes reading a book, getting it. So it definitely has its return on investment very quickly. Now, I know a lot of the patients here do ask, hey, can I bring this home with me? And we say, well, this is ours, but is there a unit that is more suitable for someone to just take home rather than the professional units at the higher cost range?
It's interesting. Most of the people, the one we sell the most of, even for home, is the high-end one.
It is.
But it all depends on the price point, and it's a time and money trade-off. And so the smaller models work great if the people have the time to put in, and there aren't too many people trying to share one device, in which case there's just not enough time.
How much time would you need on the small one? Because normally what we're doing is over 30 minutes to an hour while they're in the IV chair. They're having NanoVi do that, so it works out fine. But with the smaller unit, how much time would you require?
Well, for the equivalent, you've got an exo device, right, that you're using, or you've got a couple. And so it would be a half hour on that device would be like 2 hours on a home device.
So you just got to sit there at home with that one and kind of go through it, which some people would have no problem. If you're sitting and doing work, it's just there. It's not, bothersome.
Yeah, exactly. And so ideally, the middle device is better if people can do that versus the one that takes a full hour. So then a session would be, a half hour to an hour is more manageable for people. But it really is that trade-off of time and money. And we get people that buy the smallest device and then they'll upgrade to the bigger one. And we're happy to do that. So we're not going to, we give them their full amount towards the next device. But it is interesting the number of people that buy the big devices, and even in the shopping cart, which I just don't do that.
Have you ever thought about a really smaller version that you could wear on you and just have connected to you all day?
Well, there's you'd have to appreciate what's actually going on inside there. There's a reason this has actually got a lot that can only be condensed so much, and it also requires a certain amount of power. Because we get that all the time with athletes, especially, and they want a portable device, and it's not in the cards in the near future.
I can imagine. I mean, listen, you already got it down to a smaller version. This isn't a huge thing. And then, we just got another one. I was unpacking it. It is such a nice size almost. It just sits there on our carts, of course, but it could basically sit anywhere. What are the dimensions on the EXO? It's about 12 or 16 inches wide, right? Only a few inches high.
About 12 by 12.
Okay. It's a box, basically. So it's not we're not talking about a large device here, of course, but it does so much. And I could understand why it's not quite, we're not at that quantum computing level probably yet to get it into a wearable size, but maybe someday.